Alright, we got spooky music today. This is Gravel Obliterated by Chris Clark. Some strange sort of noise adjacent stuff. I like this kind of music. I don't listen to it very often though. Definitely not like background music. But let's enjoy it in the background while I do other things. But okay, so yesterday. What did I do yesterday? My brain is still kind of fried. Because I stayed up till... Well, I worked until 11. I stayed up later than that, but not especially late. What am I doing? You know what? Let's just start the game. That'll refresh my memory. Oh yeah, it was just... I think all I did was the logic for stepping to look at the player. So yeah, basically I did this. Very powerful. Why is it... It feels like the animation is delayed. Ah, well. Done yet? Let's see. Almost done with the demo area. Well, at least getting close to the deadline, so it'll be done by then. For some definition of done. But okay, let's go... Well, first off, let's make sure the music is actually working. It's not, I don't think. Hang on. Oh no, it's working. Okay, it did the album thing. It's also for some reason not... There we go. For some... Godot does not release my mouse when I do things. But yeah, welcome back to the stream. Let's see. I'll put this down a little slower, or a little lower. Oh wait, hang on. I'm fiddling with Twitch things. There we go. Okay, so the work that I want today is probably a basic system for getting characters to do unique poses and then like have those tied to things. I also would like to fix Jackie's feet occasionally twitching when she's standing still. It's just a minor like visual glitch that I don't like very much, but now it's like not happening, so I don't know what the deal is. Oh yeah, I'd like Jackie to also turn to face people. Because yeah, that's been my latest thing. Do I want to do Jackie turning to face people first, or do I want to do the cutscene system? I'll do the cutscene system. And I guess really what I should do is figure out what sort of cutscenes I want. Now Jackie like not moving her eyes feels weird. Like, now it feels weirdly dead. Yeah. Okay, what is all this stuff? Little man, skeleton. None of this exists anymore. We can... Like... Godot, it's fine that this is, like... Like, this doesn't exist anymore. I know that, Godot. That's why I saved the file with the new thing. Is it in an NPC, maybe? What other NPCs do we have? We have like Orstot or something. What is this? Okay, I see. Well, we don't even need this. In fact, do we need... I don't think... Okay, we don't have that there. So this should be fine now. What other NPCs do we not have? NPC shop, maybe? No, he's fine. Okay, I think that's all of the NPCs. Let's see if the world has gone back to as it should be. Okay, we got some errors still. So it's specifically in the shader preload. Let's fix these errors before I get into the meat and potatoes, mostly because the ambiguity of the task ahead of me is making me anxious. I don't actually know what I want. This is the wrong one. This is the one I want. So for some reason this guy has something different, even though he's just like he's as he is. Like this is normal. Like I don't know what the deal is. Node mesh instance was modified from inside a scene, but it's vanished. Hang on, I have a good idea. Ref hat TSCN. Attach head. Ref hat. I mean, it seems like nothing weird is going on. See, I don't understand where this is coming from. Attach hat was modified. Oh, mum. That explains that. Yeah, we don't need this then. So we're just going to have this also do the same thing, where we just don't have editable children, because we don't need them. And then I think that basically fixes, like, those warnings that were happening. Hopefully. Yeah, okay. Okay, so what are the other ones that are happening still? Oh, NPC test, for some reason. Well, just don't have editable children. Oh, and this one also has an NPC nav, so, do we need this NPC test to be someone unique? Hang on. We also need NPC nav to not be here, I guess. Wait, I don't understand why there's two of them here. Okay, now there's not two of them. It worked. Oh, right. Also, these guys do not have, the correct, like, height for their collision. Eventually I should fix that. I'll put that as a thing. Just another bug. Put it on the pile. NPCs should have the correct, or should have, based on their height. I think what I need to do now is actually start on storyboarding, I think. I think that's the answer here. If I want to have visual interest, I need to just make visual things. So let's move this to the side. Because, yeah, we don't really need a system if we don't have any content to put in the system. Alright, hang on. I moved my keyboard too far. Eventually I need to make a more complicated setup and have like a table that I can pull out from underneath my desk with a tablet on it. Because the way that it's set up now, I have to like move everything around to get the tablet in a convenient position. But okay, so what we're going to be doing this week, I guess. Let's go to weekly, April. So, dialogue cutscene system. Storyboards. So, I think just for, like, the time stop intro, Razia's quest, time stop main event. Let's just do like 20, 48, 20, 48. We need to create a scientist who is interesting in posing and expression. And also he needs facial hair. But that'll come whenever I feel like doing that. Okay, so this is our little man. So let's theorize on, so if we go to the project material, no, project dialogue, quests, minor quests, time stop, TS scientist. So I think where I want him to be, first of all, is standing up against something, or it's like pondering things. So like envision a wall. And I will, without having done any warm-ups whatsoever, try to get in right into sketching, even though I'm not really much of an illustrator. Okay, we can start with a real simple idea, which is basically just, if he is here, what would he, how would he be looking? Probably something like this. Should he do, what should his default expression be? Probably something with like one hand up to the face. You know, he's a ponderous guy. You know, I might want to have, like, some sort of expression posing. Okay, a lot of things to consider. But okay, let's start with the basics of just, like, he has a hand here. Up against his face. And then I don't know what his other hand would be doing. Either crossed around like this, or just at his side, or on his hip. You know, something like this. Maybe I need a separate color for the hands and like joints. Also, his neck should eventually be narrower. It's way too wide. But okay, another idea that I'm thinking of is a tick that I've seen in some people, including myself and my dad, is closing our eyes when we're thinking hard. So I'm trying to think if that's a thing that I want for him, of like... I just realized I don't actually have the ability to switch textures on the different irises, or on the different eye shapes. I should do that at some point. That may actually be quite soon. Let's just put that in features of like separate eye shape textures for winking and other expressions. Visual. Also, I should eventually like start thinking about his actual facial hair. Like, do I want it to be like a simple beard, maybe? I think I'm too scribbly. Ah, well. Closing eyes when thinking. I also need to think of like big poses that they do when they're in the snowsuits, because one of the big things about this quest is that everybody's going to be in let's go to, what is it going to be actually? I don't know how to best show it. But basically, they all wear this and then a gas mask on top, so their faces are completely concealed and their bodies are going to be broadly concealed, like the finer movements are going to be like bundled up in the suit. Let's see, so I think I like going down like this, up like this, crossing arms. And this dude is lanky, so we can think about that. So you can see our beautiful poses here. I like the idea that he leans back, even though I don't see the physical possibility of this. Oh wait, I guess I do. So, like, if he goes, like, back like this, and then, like... we have him go like this. So that way his center of mass would still be broadly, like, above his feet, but his, like, torso's forward. This is a good pose that I can just have on deck, I guess. So what do I actually want for making the poses? The actual, like, implementation of these, I think, would be some sort of pose from idle to the pose and then out of idle. Or I could just have a fancy, like, blend between the two. No, I think I would need at least like one pose to do that of like, you know, you go from the idle pose, you have his arms come up a little bit, and then he like crosses them. Because you can't just go linearly interpolate between this and like crossing your arms. But also I'm contemplating, what would his facial hair look like? I do like the idea of like relatively angular, I'd say. I'm not sure exactly. I also have to remember that if I could do it as a texture. I think that'd work pretty well. And then what I want, like, maybe a bit more cheek here. Maybe it just comes up a little bit more, so that way it implies that, like... No, I don't like that very much. It feels a bit too obviously like that I'm just drawing it in. Maybe just, like, have it soften. You know, I prefer just having the hard outline, I think. I think that's the answer to our dilemma here. Just simple, mostly hard outline, maybe a little bit of variance within the texture. But okay, we don't need that anymore. This does give him a very different look. And also, this doesn't particularly look like a, like, thinking hard gesture. This just looks like he's kind of mad and, like, being sassy with us. Yeah, because what am I thinking of when I do this? Like, what particular gestures need to be in here for, like, this, this look? I'm thinking... Okay, I think having the hand here, the hand on the chin, definitely makes it more of a, like, I am thinking of something here. And then maybe, like, slightly asymmetrical eyebrows. Well, admittedly, the sketch is so loose that, like, a lot of information would have to be, like, constructed on the fly in the animation. I just did Jackie's hair again, but oh well. What would I want the rest of his body to be doing at this time? So we got, like, the general gist. I'm thinking probably on the hip. Let's have, like, shirt here. Pants here, perhaps. One leg relatively straight, the other one maybe a bit curved. He's not wearing Jankos, but this is basically, like, how he would be. Actually, where would I have this leg? I guess like this. That's not really... I'm not really seeing it with this particular eye pose. I think here, it'd be more natural if his eyes were open. Because he just looks like a guy that I drew with his eyes closed, not a guy who actually is, like, closing his eyes. Though here he would be looking down, I think. Or to the side, or something like that. Okay, so let's say this. So who is this? Whom is this man? This is concept art? No, we want this concept art. I think now we do expressions, maybe? Maybe, like, boards. And then we have, like, TS intro. Scientist. Yeah, I guess what I'll do is I'm gonna plot out all of the animations I need just for the introduction with him. So, like, where would I actually want him to be standing? How would I want him to interact with the player? And then we can use that as sort of a microcosm for making the rest of the animations of, like, what do I need to consider? What systems do I need? And I'll, like, build out just that conversation. So first of all, where should he be? I think either sitting or leaning up against the wall. I have an idea that I think is kind of neat. Hang on. We need to move these sketches to a separate layer, so that way I can keep him here. So this is like reference. And that way, I can have this here. So I'm thinking he is sitting on a bench of some sort, or like sitting just somewhere. And then he's just sitting I'm imagining, like, the way that I sit when I'm particularly, like, thinking about something. Hunched over, one leg up, one leg down. Leg across. Where would I put my arm? I guess it would be almost more like this. Have this hand here. On his foot, actually. Contemplating, like, what has my life become? I can't find my dang computer gizmos for my thing. The video game content is ruined, unless some protagonist comes along and does side content for me. And then we have, you know, all sorts of body parts, all sorts of mechanics here that we'll figure out as we go along. And will imply the shape of the foot. Yeah, that basically kind of conveys what I'd like. So that's one option. The main issue is having the characters of different sizes be able to sit on the same objects will be complicated. I guess I could just... Ooh, that'd be difficult. I was about to say, I guess I could just make a, make an interpolation between two different animations for sitting, but then if I wanted to have, you know, because this is a very particular pose, I mean, I guess I could just make it unique for him. There's not going to be that many main characters, or there's not going to be that many characters in the game, I don't think. It's going to be like, I'd say like 8 episodes, quote unquote, like main story things that I want to do. And so, I guess I'd be fine with this. So yeah, let's plot out the main meeting. Time's up intro, so like Karamov. Pondering. Looks up at you. So, like, you know, he's sitting here. We come up. Oh, wait. We need to start a new game. He's gonna have a different pose, I think, once we do this. Okay, so here he would look up at you. Or he would still be looking up, or, yeah. He'd be here, and then suddenly, like, let's copy and paste this. What? There we go. Thank you, video game. So, like, 1, 2. And I think here, he might completely change his posing to, like, be like an attentive sit. Yeah, in fact, we don't need, like, any of this, except for, like, the basic reference of where he was sitting. So just right there. So yeah, kind of a pointless thing to use that, but oh well. So he comes out. I think he'd have his legs actually come up a bit. So he's like high enough that he's clearly tall. He's clearly like a gangly man. So he looks up at you. Shoulders, hands like this. Very like, I'm not sure exactly how to describe it. Eccentric pose, I guess. I'm not gonna... I was drawing like a pinky to imply a hand rather than a foot, but that did not look very good. And I do want his arms to be straight here. So I need to think about the size here. Well, actually, I don't really need to think about the size here. I just need to think about that for the purpose of, like, Okay, that seems fine. I should probably not go too crazy with, like, the posing here, since this is just one guy and one intro, but I don't know. I might as well, like, plot out the ideal, like, amount of stuff that I would want. Or, like, not preemptively give up on doing a good job just because I know that it's infeasible. But okay. Some sort of thing like this. So yeah. He basically will switch from this, or switch to this. Do I want that immediately? I think I'd want an intermediate pose of him just looking up first, and then he does this. So let's just have that as, like, a thing here, like... can I help you? So it's clear that he is now paying attention. And we'll have his hand, like, come away a little bit. Very clear. I'm sure I'll remember that. So are you a doctor? Do I want an extra pose for, like, looking down at his stuff? I guess I could just do a simple, like, we'd have a simple little variation here. I gotta remember, I don't need to make all of these. I can just, like, imagine them and conceptualize them. So here we have him here and, like, doing his sit. Hmm. Do I want a more casual sit as well? Probably. Probably have something just more casual of like, leaning up against the wall, perhaps. Like maybe he sits back again with his leg crossed. It'd look better in the final version. And then we could have an optional, like, arm thing here. And I'm gonna, rename this. Oh, wait, whoops. There we go. Hmm. I'm thinking now, do I want NPCs to have unique animations? I guess I could do that, now that I think about it. Each NPC is a different animation player. So I could just add an extra script for that. Though I guess I could reuse these at some point for some other tall guy. No, I already said that, like, there's not that many NPCs, so it'd be good to have some, like, unique animations for each of them. Let's see, do I need anything else here? I think now we could kind of switch between, like, this, and this as, like, the things that we do. So, like, when he does this, when he says, unfortunately, my current project's been on hold. What would I want exactly? Trying to think, what do you want to, like, what if he, like, fidgets by grabbing his foot? Because that's what he was doing up here when he was pondering. He had his leg crossed, hand against the foot, other hand against his chin. Hmm. Hmm. Okay, so you're a researcher then. Yes, unfortunately my current project's been blocked for the past few days. What happened? Well, I'm preparing to demonstrate some of our findings, but some of our equipment was damaged. I haven't had any luck getting replacement parts. I think this is basically what I want. So like he's thinking, when he's talking and he's thinking about stuff, he'd just be sitting in this pose, and then he comes up like this when he's talking to Jackie more directly. And then he does this when Jackie like does something important, and then he like goes back into one of these other two poses. And like this is just a one-off thing. This is reasonable. The main question is going to be making all of the logic for this in a way where I can actually reuse it for different characters. Or in a way where I can, like, where I don't have to, like, make bespoke animation trees and stuff for everybody. But okay. What do you need exactly? Perhaps I can help find it? So I think up here, yeah, I don't think I'd need much new for this. I know what I'd want. I'd want a... getting a thing out of his pocket and then giving it to you thing. Of like... And yeah, not exactly a, like, genius animation here. But basically, then he would just give this to you. Yeah, let's see. Okay, and then for this one, again. And then I think what we'd want then is just a simple standing up animation. And then how would I want to show gratitude? I think I'll also need to look at reference video of like the area, because I'm also thinking of like what body language is common in these regions. Since I've talked about before, this area is inspired mostly by Afghanistan, Iran, and Tajikistan in that specific area. Though I can go broader if I feel like it. Because I have no, like, specific reason to use that particular region. And then, well, I guess I can just say just a simple standing animation. Just like excitedly stand. Okay. So those are kind of the only things that we really need for this guy's first poses. So just a place to sit, and then he just does those. And that really now only leads us to the question of... Well, basically the only question that I have now is like, how do I orchestrate that? I guess let's just make the animations and see where I can plug them in. Because the questions I have... let's put this up to here. NPC movement. What does this mean exactly? Emotion animation. So, what do I need for the demo? So let's say, what? So, the system. Animation. Management. NPC specific gestures. And then, yes, we don't really need this. I would love previewing, though. So, like, during dialogue. So basically, I'd like the ability to view all lines of dialogue and then just play the associated animation with the line. Let T to see which lines of dialogue have animations. Play animations in game. Rewind in game. Those would be very cool. They're not really that necessary though. Oh yeah, and I need separate body and face posing, because here, for example, his eyes need to be doing separate things. So like mouth, eye shape, brows, eye target. And that's going to be tricky. Where do I want the eyes to be looking? Yeah, because the body is not that complicated. So, like, blending free. Required. I think the way that we could do this is by having if we go to the tree, so we have all of this as like not dialogue. Oh wait, no, actually we have this. This is basically like when we aren't in dialogue. Well, I still really don't like how this is set up already. Because this do action, the only thing that it does is step. Like, the only thing this is designed for right now is if I did this... Oh, if I did this, it makes the NPC turn to face the player. I'll make a more sophisticated thing, though. This will be... Let's just call this dialogue state. Idle loop. So by default, oh shit, we're already off to a bad start. Because we need, I guess we'll just have this is just whatever. So like main 1 or like loop 1. Let's call it that. And this will be our default thing that auto starts. And then like loop 2. So like transition 1. So basically the way this will work is it goes here and it's like, I don't know, something like that. And then we just have at end. And we do this as well. Lower priority transitions are preferred. Okay. Well, actually, we'll keep this as it is. And this should also do an automatic transition. So basically, we have two ways of going from a loop. We can do, you know, loop 1 goes to transition 1, goes to loop 2. Actually, let's call this like from 1 to 2. And then we can have another one from 2 to 1. And this will be the exact same thing, because we can have this here as well. And so there's basically two options for going to an animation. At end on. You can either use a transition animation, or you can just smoothly go to it. This might be way too much stuff now to have for, like, because all of these animation trees are copied for every NPC, so it's not very efficient. But I guess we can do this. And should I make these a little bit like 0.05 or something? I'll do it. We can spare a few frames to like smoothly go between things. I'm curious what advanced condition is. Turn on auto advance when this condition is set. The provided name will become a Boolean parameter on the animation tree that can be controlled from code. Oh, okay, that's nice. But I will ignore that. Let's just call this Godot 2, Godot 1. And I think this will be enough. I think this will be enough parameters for custom animation playing. And we would just like, for example, if we start the animation, we would set loop 1 to be something. Do I want this to actually replace all of this now? Because I think it could. Because we would basically, like, set whichever animation we're currently in. So the only thing it can't replace is this blending, which, I really wish I had designed my own animation tree editor, because what I really want is to plug this in as a state to this, I think. What is a blend tree, actually? Oh, that's exactly what we're in right now, I think. I think a blend 2 could do what we want. We're basically... No, I think I know what to do. Basically, this should only apply when we are in an idle loop. And then now main anim will actually not be this. It will be... Now we need to go back to the animation tree. We're going to do some sophisticated stuff here. We'll have like loop 1. Loop 2. On ready. Var body anim. I think this will be like now like state machine or like so this is animation node state machine. Body, so this is state machine. So what can we get from here? Can we get the playback from the thing? Okay, so we do that from here. So this is like state machine. And then onReady var playback. Animation state playback equals self parameters state machine playback. Oh, we know. And this needs to be copied from here. So we do equals this now. And we're going to change this to be turn anim. Because now what we do is standing turn does this, and it'll just do play turn. And that has to do all this stuff. So match, Actually, we don't even need these to be on ready. Var loops equals array. Okay, var loop state, or like current anim equals 0. And what we'll have here is now, hang on, I guess let's make this like 0, and then like we'll go from there. 0 index this bad boy. Because what I'm imagining is when we play an animation, we will... So if busy return, I guess we keep that there. And also now this is just turning. So we can set this stuff here. In fact, do I want to change? I'm going to change this to turn. So match loops current anim dot action. Okay, so we're gonna have a cool new thing. I think when we do state machine dot get node loop 0 loop 1. There we are. And we're going to call this current loop. And these should both be animation state machine, whatever they are, or animation node animations. But okay, we're not going to even bother with that. Actually, we can by doing var main anim equals animation node animation equals loops current loop. I guess we do current loop plus equals 1, loop equals loops dot size modulo current loop plus 1. Actually, that's a better way to do it. Okay, so basically we set the animation here. Oh wait, actually, let's do first var canim equals loops current loop dot current or dot animation if anim equals canim return. So basically, we don't need to do any of this incrementing stuff and like blending stuff. This is a string. Okay, and then we do this. And then we set the animation here. And then what we're gonna do is if animation, or no, playback dot play, or like travel, loop plus string current loop. There we go. And this should be self current loop, and then like for L in loops box dot property loops or L animation. Okay. So let's see if this works by just going to Riley. So now basically what I've done is I've made it so she can smoothly go between the different animations. And this might work actually. So yeah, I've basically just overwritten the very simple system we had before with a much more convoluted system. Seem quite interested in that. Do you want help? Look at that. We kind of got there. And now the real question. So yeah, we have all this stuff turning. So yeah, if our current animation is that, we do that. If main animation not equal that, we do that. Otherwise, we travel to there. And I think now what I can do is we can go to like Razia. So if we go here and we like do like, how much could I make these go? Because I don't see the blending happening. And that was like one of the benefits of having the thing work. So it's strange that it's working, in that this playback is traveling. Yeah, because we can see that she traveled to walk loop. And now we're traveling to there, loop's current loop. So current loop is 0. And we're going to 0, so that means that we've set all this up correctly. Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what to do here, but I'm going to turn this to turn blend to make it consistent with this. Blend, and then action anim. Alright, that seems good enough. Not quite. So turn is not active. Because we have action... Oh, this is turn blend. Whoops. And this is turn. Okay. So yeah, the question on everyone's mind is really, man, why is this not... Is it going? Is it gonna go? Godot, are you okay? Yeah. So yeah, the big question, why no blending? And yeah, those animations definitely could be like uncrusted at some point. Because we're doing a travel. Oh, game died. That's concerning. Well. So playback transitions from the current state to another state following the shortest path, so it's definitely doing this correctly, because if we did this, for example, like what if we just change this to like sit or something? Something that's very obviously incorrect. Okay, so she's definitely not, like, picking the wrong path. You know, I'll just chalk it up another mysterious bug. Animation blending does not seem to work. But that does give us a very simple system where I can actually, like, animate the characters now. Because I think the way that I'd use this is I would set the loop that we're using for a character. And that means characters now need, like, a starting animation. Let's do, like, current animate. So, like, if turning, return, turn, animation, else, return, loops, current loop, dot animation. Let's say get animation. And we can make this easier by doing, so we don't need this here, we can just do get animation. Okay, let's say this is a start. Starting like clearing the path for more advanced animations. Did I remember to put this here? Yeah. Animation blending doesn't seem to work in NPC animation tree state machine. And doesn't seem to, it just doesn't work. Okay. Now we do a link. So we're gonna link the scientist, I guess. Male, full body. Who are we? Karamov. I guess just this one. And then selected. Oh, library override, make selected and content. There we are. So we also need to link a, like, generic thing here. Let's just do, like, which one does he have? Head 1? That's close enough. And I also think, let's put a cube here, and then let's scale it down to, like, 1/2 meter tall. Actually, I think I'd want it to be shorter. I want this height to be like 0.4. Because I gotta remember, I also need to scale it up by 30% once we actually do the animation. But okay, let's have K sit loop. Frustrated. Call it like that. This gonna work? I thought I made a library override of you. Hello? Video game. So like this should be interesting. Why is this? Whatever, dude. Do your fucking thing, video game. It just does fucking whatever it wants. Jesus fucking Christ. Hang on. Just delete this. Unlink this fucking thing. Clearly I did it wrong. File. Link. Mail. Karamov collection. Collection. I think it's because I accidentally... So we need to do selected and content right away. And then I think I can do this, where I just... The thing that I was doing the whole time before just doesn't work anymore. There's no God. Sorry, just link the things individually then. Like, get the object. We want Karamov, and we want armature. Thank you, video game, for not linking the thing that I clicked on. I clicked this to link it. That's why I clicked file link to link it. Is the video game, like, okay? Whatever. Okay. Characters, male, let's say dialogue. Karamov intro. Let's just call it that. And I'm gonna, like, restart Blender and see if maybe that does it. I really wish that, like, using Blender, you could, like, focus on the animations and things rather than, like, how do I link a fucking rig? Like, with the ability to animate the mesh that's associated with it. Actually, I think I know what to do. We need to link to the base mesh. And then I can just accept that I'm not going to use the right thing, so we'll just do NPC base mail collection. Because I think what the issue is that the base mesh, or the Karamov, does not have a rig, it links to a rig. So it itself is linking to a linked thing. And so if I do it this way, now we have this. So now I can actually do things here. And then we can do like a case it ponder loop. And we can have like this selected, and we can do like, make this have a, we don't need this. We don't need this. We just need the head. Which still does not have... Oh wait, it's because... Okay. We need the armature. There we go. I'd actually like this to be even lower. So let's do... down this low. So let's start by making it like symmetrical, and then we'll add the asymmetry. So from here, the basic first steps. I really should have put like bone shapes on this. No wait, no, I'm sure no, I have bone shapes, they just aren't working. Oh well. Wow, how did this, like, fuck this up worse? Okay, I see. This is not quite correct. Yeah, the hips do not quite do what I want them to do. I'm seeing here. How would we even, like, fix this such that it, like, can pretend to work? Well, let's ignore that for now. The real issue is that his arms are so fucking long that we can't even get, like, this pose. Where, like, the arm is actually straight. Well, I guess we can, kind of. Yeah, okay. This is actually working fine. Kind of. So much stuff going wrong. YouTube, come on, please. Like, just let me listen to music. It has to pester me every, like, 20 minutes. To remind me that I'm not a favorite child. How's this supposed to work? I think it was supposed to be... Yeah, this shoulder can come up, actually. This feels okay. Okay, now we're actually getting somewhere with this. Sort of an eccentric pose. The thinking man's pose. I guess we don't need to tilt this down very much. Well, what if we tilt it up, actually? Hunched over, contemplating. I think I'd prefer if he were holding his ankle, though. And that means that we should probably have this just tilted over more. And we will ignore this. We will figure out how to deal with this soon, someday. Oh, good Christ. I don't think I'm going to figure out how to deal with this anytime soon. I think I need, like, a separate bone in here. And then we could, like, rotate it and move it separately. I think this should still be tilted up more, so that way more asymmetry. And it's very clear that he's, like, pushing against his leg. Okay. This is our pose. This is the canvas from which we will build. I'd say let's say 120 frames. And we'll do 30 FPS. And we can just do active collection here. And so 0.3 meters times 30 or plus 30% would be 0.39, so that's reasonable. So what do I want his foot doing? Now that I think about it, I didn't actually do anything with this foot. Let's just put the whole character here. And then for now, we'll just have a very small amount of movement from like, I'd say like here. And then maybe like this moves a little bit later. Then maybe moves like this. Like, I don't know, like scratches his nose or something.
I carry a little piece of paper everywhere I go, in my pocket somewhere. It's got some words on it. And every time I get tired or lonesome or...
And we'll have this just move ever so slightly.
Get my back up. I pull this little piece of paper out, and I look at these words, and they mean much to me.
And then I also think maybe here his foot comes up and then it like goes to the side maybe a little bit. Then it comes down a little bit. I don't really like how I set this up.
I ask God for strength that I might achieve.
Move this. So basically, his heel comes up a little bit, so that way he's like...
That I might learn humbly to obey. I ask for help that I might
Let's do like... So for 120...
I was given infirmity that I might do better things. I ask for riches that I might be happy. I was given poverty that I might be wise.
Alright, so then another scale here, and then like
I ask for all
up.
things that I might enjoy life. And I was given life that I might enjoy all. I was given nothing I had asked for,
I think this is fine. Or we remove this.
but everything I had hoped for.
Remove this.
So
Make
despite
these a
myself,
bit bigger.
my prayers were answered. I am among all men, most richly blessed.
Okay, that's good enough for now. So this is our first loop. And then I think I'll do the coming up one, like this one, and then we go to the next one. Yeah, so I think this will be a transition. So like K sit. So let's duplicate this. K sit alerted, or like transition. And this will go from our main key. So like the main things to do will be like a quick like this. And then probably like slightly straighten out, so it'll be like and then we go back to something else. Hi, welcome back to the stream. I'm doing cool animations. Admittedly, don't look too closely at how the blending works when he crosses his legs. That'll be figured out eventually. Basically, dialogue animations. So I'm looking through, or I'm trying to figure out this, like, very simple example of just a guy who gives you a quest and he's sitting there thinking about things. And that'll be sort of the test bed for developing the features that I need. Oh, this is actually so low that we can't actually, I know how to do this. Let's rotate this. So he'll be mostly symmetrical here. Hang on. Let's put him back as his life was before all of this went so wrong. So he will just basically scooch forward and lean forward to like have his hands right here. Oh, well, now I did it. Oh, well, I see. I can just raise up his shoulders like this. And we'll just keep these back here. Let's just copy this. There we go. So the main poses are, we're here, then we go forward. And actually, I think we can make this, wait, I don't really need any of this here. Because we just have this, and then we go down. Let's copy, like, this pose, and then we put it all the way up to, like, here, for now. Actually, I think this should be, like, let's do, like, 80 there, like, 50 here, so that way it's, like... Oh. Okay. What is different about these two elbows? I guess the position of this, but that doesn't really seem to be doing much here. Let's move these out slightly. I think this is good at least. And then I think by the time we're here, I want this hand to already be like coming down like this. Oh, hang on. All of these should be here. There we go. And we should also have this animation be a bit more interesting, so it'll be a bit more tilted, I think. to one side. And his head will be doing mostly like looking up and down, so we don't need that too much. Actually, let's keep this in the same position that it was in. Thank you, Godot. Oh, I see. Let's move this a bit earlier, and do like this. Let's think about, what do I want? I think this should already start happening here. And this guy should already be coming up here, so it should be like, why is his arm like... Oh, I see. Because this is too far. So I think by the time we get here, we should have his arm rotated like this. Why is his arm like not in the correct spot? Why is his arm like moving? Okay, so I think the next thing, make most of this shorter. Okay, and then we can like start looping from here. I don't like that weird, like, start in his movement here. What is that coming from? I say move these a little bit later. I think his foot needs to start coming down sooner, or something. I say it comes out like a bit like, oh wait. Move this to be here. So that way, like about here, his foot is like coming down. And then we'll move this a bit sooner, so that way it's like sort of like that. Then we'll have his arm do what it will do, whatever it's gonna do. Okay. And then, where is this the worst? I guess right here, his hand should be completely up and out of it. That seems about right. I think it's a bit, I think it could be faster. Yeah, so let's say, I think about here, just start scaling this down. I think 60 is going to be about the right time frame. Let's see this. I think the only thing I don't like is the foot coming down is a little fast now. So now I think it could come down with this. And then maybe we just have a little bit of a reset period where he comes back down to like a more normal, he just does a little bit extra movement. I don't like that. It's very, like, awkwardly adjusting back into place. So I think what we can do here is we can just do a now, like, sit attentive loop or something. And we don't need to say that it's a transition here. That's just making it extra verbose. Do I want to do... I think I don't want his chest so, like, ramrod straight. I think he still should be a little bit hunched over. Admittedly, now it feels a hair too fast, but I'll keep it as it is. That seems okay. But okay. And the main thing we'll need for the next one is, so K, sit, attentive, loop. Just move this one to the start, and then move these ones to the end. There we go. And this one, I think I'll just do 120. But I am seeing as well that, like... Okay, this should be good. Yeah, this seems about right. Let's just double validate this by having whole character and then whole character here. And here we'll have just the same slight sway that we had before. This, I think I'll do a little bit like... maybe ever so slightly rotated like this. Scale these two up. Too much rotation here. Okay, I think this is fine. So, are those the main ones that I need? We also need a casual talk. And so that'll be basically Ponder, but with, like, more stuff. Oh yeah, I also need the coat Ponder outfit. Or coat Ponder thing. That'd be this one, and it'd be like coat check. Okay, sit. Coat check. So I'm thinking whole character. And basically we just have a simple like he comes up a little bit, looks at his like coat. There's just like, what the heck? He's just like, I didn't even realize I was wearing my coat. So do I ever do the movements I animate? Oh yeah. I even did this sitting pose to like figure out like the fact that my shoulders are hunched up when I do it. Alright, so hang on, we need to copy this pose for a little bit. So I'm gonna do like guess we need about 90 here. Admittedly, I don't need to make these clean multiples of like 30 or whatever. I can just make them whatever I want, but we can have his hand or his body track this a little bit more. Let's move the rest of this back a little bit. So we're just going to do like this. Because I think 120 actually was right. And then maybe a little more gentle. Oop. Copy this, paste this, and then we'll move it out a little bit more. So that way it's like a slight overshot or something. And I want these to be a little bit more closed here. And then like a little bit more open here still. And then a bit more open here still. And there's like yeah, she's just like I don't like how I did that. Let's put this to there and maybe just a smidge of movement. Just a microscopic amount. And then also here we can have just come a bit forward and then like a little bit more forward even. Okay. And then let's just move his knees ever so slightly while he does this. Admittedly, it has that sort of like obviously animated look where like characters are moving very, very slowly with unnaturally smooth movements. But, that's good enough. Let's move his arm a little bit, or like his shoulder a little bit down, so that way his like arm stays relatively in the same place. Okay, that seems good. And then we need, what did we need? So we need Ponder Loop, actually. We need then the ability to get back into this pose from the attentive sitting. Actually, I'm realizing there's some difficulty with this. I guess it won't be that bad. Let's go to attentive loop. Duplicate this. This will be K, sit, relax. And we'll probably go like here. And he'll have his hand more back like this, basically. So I think in a similar pose to where he was, but now just more symmetrical, less ponderous. Well, what did I have here, actually? I think I prefer that. I think I prefer having the hand, like, back here. And we can have a little bit of this, so that way it's, like, clear that his arm is, like, pressing up against this. Yeah, that's about right. His fingers are not doing so hot. This is what I get for not putting target bones on all of the knuckles. What if we move this up a little bit, so that way we can move these down a little bit, and that way we can have like a more natural look to the hand? I think that looks about right. Admittedly, I don't think this is the right place for the hand, but... Well, I think this is about right. Actually, what if we... Oh, okay. This one still has a ways to go as well to relax. Yeah, I kind of like having these a bit more like this, so that way it's like having his knuckles against this in a very like casual way. Not exactly a world-class animation, but... eh. I think, first things first, I think we actually want this to be a little bit faster. So let's just feel the timing. Move this back a little bit. Or like, what do I actually want to do with this? I think push it forward. And then like once we're here, his head foot goes up. What would I actually do with my foot? When I bring my foot up, my heel is kind of riding against my shin. So like I bring it back actually, and then like when it's here, it's actually already mostly on this side. Yeah, so it's like already like this basically. Okay, so now, what else am I thinking? I'm thinking, get these, so like one hand comes first and then the other, I think. So I copy this, paste it like here. Oh wait. I was on like the wrong zip code for these. Then I'm thinking, have this forward a little bit, like this. And we'll have like this side move back first. And so that way, and here, this will come back a little bit more like this. Actually, does this go? Ah, this goes all the way up. So we should do like a little bit like this. I think a few things need to be shorter. A few things should not be. So like this, for example, I think this whole section here just comes in a bit more. I think if we move this to just 60, I think 60 is the sweet spot here. Yeah. Seems about right. I think we could do a little bit faster. Yeah. Let's actually go a little bit faster. Let's try 50. I think the only thing that I don't like is how slow the leg comes up. I think this whole section here needs to just be faster. Well, I think I actually want this bit to be slower. Yeah, I think that's about right. Good enough for me, at least. And then I think 50 is our last frame here, so I'll just do the whole character. And then K, sit, relaxed, loop. And probably just the same thing that I did for all the other ones, where we just have a 4-second loop where we do just a smidge of like different stuff here. So like, you know, we just come down a little bit. Or no, this is yeah, this is 4 seconds actually. And I think maybe just a little bit of movement in like the fingers here of like just like he's doing something. I don't like that. Also, wait, does his... No, okay, that's not what's happening there. And I do think move this a little bit after that, and then move this a little bit after that. Well, oh, I see. We need to I want this to be a little bit after that. There we go. Keep that there, and then we'll move these a little bit. Actually, wait, why are these so strange? Like, I didn't put these keyframes in here. Yeah, where the fuck did all these come from? Hang on. None of these keyframes are like... Yeah, there's a bunch of weird shit going on here that I don't like at all. The main problem is these are actually too fast. Because they should be like 3-second loops for like a breathing cycle. See, now you can feel it. Like out, in. That's about right. Good enough for me, at least. So we're gonna put all of these at 3 seconds. No, 6 seconds, not 3 seconds, or 4 seconds, whatever it was. Now let's put this one a little faster. But okay. Are those the only ones I need? I think I might want an extra relax loop. I guess I can keep this as it is for now. We don't need, like, particular gestures here. Oh wait, we do need a standing loop, though. Why do we have run loop from the fem animations? Yeah, let's go to the base mesh. So NPC base male. I figured out that new advanced technique for just delete. So we don't have run loop fem here. So that's all good. Don't save that. Because what we need is we need the link base mail action idle loop, because we just need to copy a frame here. We're going to do K stand. Should I go from... I think I can go from attentive to standing. That'd be fine. So we'll do like attentive here. And then stand goes from here to here. I think about there. We're gonna be done. Okay, so if I were to stand, I would do a lean forward, get your butt off the seat first. And that would be probably about like here. So let's copy this, paste this here. I think what we can do is have this a little bit faster. And then we don't need this here. And then if I were to do... So the next part of the standing is squatting with your center of mass directly above your feet. So like once you get to... So like the next step is to have... So like you really don't have your hands off the ground yet until... Yeah. I'd say I'd have... Actually, probably have like this. So yeah, let's make this mostly symmetrical, first of all. Oh wait. Let's see. So let's see how this feels first of all. I don't like that. I know what it is. This should not be here. We basically just do that as one smooth motion.
I see people walking, sitting on park benches, things pressed up to their ears. I saw you using one.
Man.
Who were you calling?
Alright, that's fine. Wait, I have this here? I don't really need this here. We're just gonna do that. Or, I guess... Yeah, that's about right. Yeah, that's fine there. Here, let's have this bit more out, and then like, you know, your hand actually like grabbing this for purchase. And probably like here, right there. In fact, I think I would do one side slightly before the other. And for me, it'd be my left hand would be a little slower on the uptake here. And that would be, you'd basically move your shoulders like this, basically. Oh wait, hang on. I'm seeing some mistakes here. I don't know where these came from. Let's try this. So I think this is a bit exaggerated, but... yeah, that's a bit too much. Oh god. Oh, right, because I changed this, so now this should be like this. Right, now his head is jerking around, because I did... where did all of these frames come from? Where did this... so there's like a bunch of things that just have frames in random places that I did not add. Because I can see a very subtle pop somewhere along this chain that I'm pretty sure I did not do. Aha. And also, I'm not going to have this one. That seems about right. And then I think here, his arm is going to be... we don't need this one. We're going to have his hand actually be a bit high here, maintaining balance as his other hand comes up. Let's have this be like here, and then like this be, oh, we also need his feet to, like, step gently. Where the fuck are all these frames coming from? Jesus Christ. There's, like, so many frames in here that are, like, nothing. Yeah, nothing here has any frames. Like, none of these have any business having frames. Only these two should have frames until, like, here. And I think this one will then start moving. So I think this one moves last, so it'll be, like, here. So it'll be, like, done moving by the time the other one starts moving. Wait, no. Hang on. Oh, I see. The feet should actually start moving by the time we have, so like the first foot at the very least should actually be done moving by the time we've gotten off the ground. And so this just needs to be a tiny step. And then this stuff just comes shortly afterward. I think these are meant to be the same thing, so I don't know why they aren't. And we can just tilt this up a little bit. He looks a little old now. I think it's because I have him so to the side that he's like, it feels like he's a feeble old man getting up. So this should be a lot less rotated, actually. Oh. Why are there two frames here back to back? So I think we need a little bit more down rotation here. Or maybe a bit more leaning forward. Oh, because we don't even do a lean forward anymore. Did I change? Did I... Oh, yeah, okay. I messed up my rotation here. Well, that explains why a bunch of stuff got fucked. And then here, I guess this one's fine for now. We'll have this be a bit more like up this way, like this. And then this one should definitely be a lot more like correct. I think actually here he's already like done with this. In fact, we don't even need that one. Okay. And I do see jank with this. We'll just have him like lean forward a little bit and then have his arm not lag behind so much. I think the main thing now is I want this whole section here to be a little faster. Maybe a little slower. I think I went too far with that. And then maybe this whole section to be a little faster. And by that I mean this section here. That seems about right. I think there's maybe a little too much side movement now. Specifically, pushing this way. Ooh, I don't like this particular thing here. Just delete that keyframe and see how that feels. Yeah. Does something funky happen with these? These don't need to do anything here. I don't know why every single thing has, like, insane, like, jank. There we go. Okay, that seems fine. So I think those are the ones that I need. We have like ponder, sitting notice, going to attentive. Then attentive can go into relaxed, and then relaxed can go back to attentive. Oh wait, we need something that goes back into attentive, and then back to, ooh. Okay, that's fair enough. We need to go back to relax. Or no, back to relaxed. K attention. Sit attention. So we need to go to attentive loop. That should probably be about 1 second. In fact, it could probably even be less, but I'll see how I feel. So if I take my leg and remove it, I guess it's just a pretty quick shot of like go forward and then go down. And also I think we can shrink this down a bit. Let's copy this to like there. Or I think about here. Yeah, it's like his foot is making way for his other foot. And let's keep this here. Why the fuck? Hang on. Why is everything yet again has 20 frames? Where I only did this for one thing. I did not do it for everything else. Literally delete that frame. Copy this one thing. Did that copy anything else? It copied everything else. What is happening? Why is it copying everything? I'm not copying things. I just want the foot. I just want the foot animation. I don't understand how human society works. But okay. And now we reset animation so that way these work. And then okay, so why are these all here? Why are these here? Can I like delete these? And then where do we put? I don't care. We just have this. We just have the root. Okay, so the root does what it's supposed to do. This does what it's supposed to do. So now I can just work with the thing. I don't have to like do a bunch of weird shit. So I'm gonna have this back here. We're gonna have this do like a, I think like this a little bit. Oh wait, no, not quite that. Bit more of this. And then here, we're going to have this move up immediately. It's going to do like a... almost like this. And I think here even, we have his hand rotating like this. And let's have his shoulder move down and forward a little bit. And then let's figure out how to fix this and make it look good. And I think we actually push these upward. There we go. That's good enough. Okay. And now, without further ado, I believe we can export these somewhere. I wish I could just like save a folder. Actually, I can add a folder. Okay, I can just do that. Because we should just have project GLB always saved here. Add bookmark. Characters, mail, anim, dialogue Karamov intro, include active objects, include nested collection. Let's see if this actually works. So if we go to dialogue Karamov, I was supposed to do that. Oh wait, but all of these are going to be... Right, hang on. Okay, but this does work correctly. It does what I wanted it to do. And also we do not need the idle loop. So we're going to unlink that. In fact, we're going to go to library. No, we're going to go to file, actions. Unlink this. Okay, well, so much for that. Almost. But okay, so we actually need this to not be here. We're gonna GLB export this bad boy to, GLB export this bad boy to a new folder, Karamov. And then the long process of figuring out how to actually make this work. But first, I need to use the bathroom, so I'll be back in a second. Hang on, I gotta Alt-Tab. Okay, I'll be back in a second. Alright, I am back. Oh. Crash collision. Okay. What I want now is to export this to a folder instead of this. Oh, wait, no, I already did that. Yeah, now it's the long phase of doing other things. So let's commit this. Karamov's intro animations. Okay. Because first of all, I want to see what happens if I add an extra animation tree thing. So, oh, this is actually going to be kind of tricky. Basically, we need to have editable children, and then we need to have an extra folder here. And so I'm also just going to have export. So we're going to have this be extends node. Export node path var animation node equals path dot animation node equals or var anim equals get node animation node. And then we do anim. So if we have this, that. Okay. And now, the reason I do this is so that I can add an animation loader on top of this. And so it'd just be a node. Wait, what is this called actually? Does this have a class name? No, it doesn't. Node. And this will be, I guess, after. This will be like custom animations. So auto load animations. And that'll just go to the animation player, and it'll go to. Also, we should now no longer have this here. We need to go to characters, male, anim, Karamov. And so we do all sorts of beautiful things here, like this. Oh, we also need to always have keep custom tracks enabled, because eventually we'll have custom tracks. But okay, I think now that should work. And we don't need this. So what happens if we go to Karamov, go to his animation player? Okay, so we have those. If we go to base male, do we have these? No, we don't. Okay. This is now the way that this works. Oh, we didn't even put the... Ah, well. Facial animations I might want to do as a separate thing entirely. But yeah, now I want to have, first of all, a starting animation. So that'll be case it ponder loop. I guess not here. So do we need var sitting? We're gonna not have this. I think what we need is I think Karamov needs a custom animation or a custom script attached to him in order to do this most effectively. Yeah, let's just have a starting animation. Let's just have, like, export string var starting animation. Okay, so when we're ready, if starting animation anim.play starting animation, and then we can go to like Crab Hill Center. No, not Crab Hill Center, Crab Hill Farm. No, not Crab Hill Farm, Crab Hill Entry. It took me a few tries, but I got there. And for now, what if I just have him on a launch? No, I can't do a launch chair for now. What I'm going to do is, here. CSG box. Collisions. The size of this bad boy will be 1.39, 0.39, point like 5. Yeah, that seems about right. Okay, so now Karamov needs to be here. And he will have his k-sit ponder that loop. Let's see if this even works. Let's see if the animations will actually apply correctly. So he should be sitting... he'll be sitting majestically on this little box. And I need to redo the nav meshes now that I've added one tiny box. I see, he is not in the place where he was meant to be, and that's because he is doing his idle thing. Update walk. So if we're in these modes, so that means we should be in let's say, like, let's put a true here. And the way what this is going to do is function play anim string custom equals false. So var busy equals false. Or playing custom, let's just say. And so it'll be like if playing custom return. And the same thing for the play turn. If playing custom return. And so play here, we do that. And playing custom equals custom. In fact, we can actually have this here as that. If not custom and turning return. The turning animation can be overridden by the custom animations. So now we have like a hierarchy. We have at the base level the basic movement animation, and then above that is the turning animations, and then above that is the custom animations. So let's double check that that works. So like if we talk to Riley, for example, no, Razia. Okay, so that worked. So she will also need the ability to do that. It didn't work. Hang on. Starting animation. And so then when we do... I know. Let's get this guy into a test scene. Where they CSG box. No, CSG box. There. I wanted to copy you. Okay, and then player. Take your time, Godot. Areas, test. And I'm gonna go through the tests and delete a bunch of them soon. Okay, so we have the starting animation. So how is anim doing? Why do we have the animation tree, actually? Like, we don't do anything with that. Oh, we do! Okay, because that's where we get this thing. What is anim range? Oh, that's the visibility. Okay. So, TS Scientist animation tree, playing custom is true. So what I want to do now is like update. So let's do function play. Anytime we do this from here on out. So like here, for example, we want to play that. Oh. Hang on. Ooh, this is actually going to be... I didn't think about this. How do we end a custom animation? I guess we just do function resume. Normal animations. Or like end custom. Custom equals false. We're playing. Alright, so now we need actually, if not custom... Wait, no. Okay, so this is correct. If not custom and turning, return. If... playing custom or turning. Okay. There we go. Okay. And how does his... Oh, well, he has the coat, so that way it conveniently, like, hides the horrible, like, mesh disaster that's, like, in his legs. Eventually I need to fix that. I don't know how I'm going to fix that, though. Oh, he should not turn. Hang on. So when we do a standing turn, if playing custom return. Okay. And he looks like a ponderous man. He's pondering his life. Oh, look at that. He actually, like, he looks up at us. I think the blending for, oh, hang on. YouTube decided to stop working again. Okay, so that at least gets us there. So let's make sure that the game still works in the, like, main game world. Because I don't think I broke anything, but I should test. Oh, we need to go back to as we were. Game is dying. Game is horribly dying. But man is sitting. Man is sitting where he should be. The next step will be to make sure to figure out how to, like, skin his coat to properly follow his body. Okay, so now I need to, I think now we do just main speaker.play animations, I think. So let's just plug in the animations and see how it goes. Main speaker play. Let's say K. What are the animations that we have at our disposal? We need to do K notice, K sit notice. Notice. Let's just have play custom as a thing here, so that way I don't have to, like, do, like, true after every single one of these, because that's going to be kind of annoying. And then I think when we... Oh, wait, no. Let's do, like... Go to. No. Play... Into. So K-sit notice goes into K-sit attentive loop. And here we have, like, main speaker play into K-sit coat check. Hopefully coat check goes back to where it was. So if we did, like, a shift space here. Okay, that seems about right. So where do you study? And then let's do a main speaker play into K sit relax. K sit relaxed loop. So let's have NPC. So anim.play. So don't we have... Oh, we have this. So now we're going to have function play, and this should also do through here. Into transition string loop string goes into bool, turn true, and this will be like anim.play custom, or like transition loop true. And so this now has to have, so we have function play, and we have function play into. It's like transition string loop string custom false. And I think we just do... Let's just do like function set loop. Oh, this is going to be tricky actually, because we need the transitions from the loop as well. That won't be that bad actually. We just do go to, and this is actually transitions. And so we can actually have play here. I guess what it'll do is just do, let's have a few different functions. So like, if already playing, or like can play, anim custom, return, so we just return here, and can play will just be this, anim custom bool false turn true. Alright, and we also have this here instead. Okay. If not can. I'll just have this basically be like loop custom, playing custom equals custom. Actually, we can have like the update loop here. And then like yeah, the only thing that we need now is we're going to do like update loop anim custom. In fact, we don't even need this. In fact, we don't even need like, we could just do if not anim update loop return, because we're going to have this be update loop. So this is just going to do everything that we had before. And we can have it do all of our wonderful things. Play being custom equals custom. Oop. There we are. Main anim equals this, main anim equals that. And then we also just do, instead of going to here, we go to go to. As soon as we do a transitions current loop dot animation equals transition. There we go. Or like, let's call this like set like anim set loop. Okay. This should kind of work, I think. We can at least see if some of the animations are being applied correctly. Oh, didn't quite work how I wanted it to. So he also is no longer looking at us. When do we do eye tracking? So update head track. NPC. Let's make the head tracking factor a little bit bigger. So this should be... Let's do like 5 here, but that's not really the issue. Eye track. So this should just always work. This just doesn't do anything. But okay. The underlying issue now is Godot did not do what I wanted it to do. So when we're going from loop 0 to loop 1, that means that the current loop will be set to 0. Basically, if we're going to 1, so like if we're here and then we call play animation, what it's gonna do, or we call play into, it is first gonna set the loop, so that basically just increments the loop counter by 1, so the loop is 0 now. So that goes to 1. We set this animation, we disable all this crap, and then we return true. Oh, and here we should return false. But, that means we come back to here, current loop is this, so I guess what I should just do is print loop, current loop. Hang on. So loop %s into %s, and this will be transition loop, so that way I can see what it's doing actually, because I think what's happening is it's like going into the wrong animation, or the animation isn't being updated fast enough. So if we go back to here, yeah, so he goes into that idle stage, and then he does the transition, and then I don't understand why that would be the case, though. Is that because it's going in a circle? Is it... Hang on. Are we already in the loop that we started in? Because I think that could be it. Of like, yeah, I'm contemplating, how do I figure out what's happening? Because I think what might be happening is it's in the wrong stage. So it's here, actually. but then it's being told, like, or here, for example, and then it's being told, okay, go to this state. So it has to go back to here, then back to here, then back to here. And because he was previously in the standing stage, that's why that happens, maybe. Just curious. Is there a researcher then? So I like the posing. I think the next steps will be horizontal head tracking for custom animations. Didn't I already have that as a thing that I can do? So like if we're playing custom, so like update head track. If playing custom, hang on, let's pause this. Var h track, or var turn equals 0.0. And this can be, let's do like 0.5 times this stuff. So we'll assume that playing the custom animation means we should turn our head because we're stuck in place. And eventually I can change that if I don't like that. So, we actually need this to be the dot product with our up axis, I think. Yeah, I think that's exactly what we need. This will be track dot, or I dot basis dot y dot diff. And then var right equals, or like dot basis dot y dot, or x dot diff turn equals clamp left divided by f -1 to 1. Does it work? Not. Oh, I see. He's going. Oh, because now we're doing because we're doing the basis of the eyes, we actually need a common we need a common head attachment point that is not the eyes. It needs to be the neck that is attaching. So yeah, we need neck attach. Neck should be somewhere in here. And then what we need is to copy the so what do we need actually? Let's copy eyes head rotation ref. It should not be, it should be like duplicate this and then do this, and then this is going to be like head position. So it will not follow the head actual like rotation. And instead, it will be here. And then I guess we just copy this into like base female. I think this is the right place for this in the outfits section. Yeah. Did it paste? Yeah. And then we need a similar thing for the little man. However, he will not actually use this because he needs to have his neck is different. So he will attach to the back. Then this will be like this. I think. Do we have an upper back? Thumb, carpal, collar, bicep, index. I think it's just lumbar, back, neck on this guy. So this is no longer where he shall be. So, yeah, I think the main problem... I guess I'll just put this as, like, eyes default position, or something like that. And it'll be... It doesn't necessarily need to be exactly in the correct place. But it should be pretty close. Or at least, like, in the center of the head at the same level. So that way they don't, like, turn their head up when they're looking down at the player. Yeah, and then eyes default position. Okay. And this will be an on-ready, so head track. Ooh, we're gonna need something different here. I'll do just on-ready bar eyes default equals get node default eye position. This will be neck attached slash eyes default position. Okay, there we go. And hopefully these are correct for everybody here. Neck attack, neck attach. There we go. That applies correct. Here. That applies correct. And here. This guy does not have it by default. Right, because he marches by his own beat. Attach neck. Oh, neck attach. There we go. Okay, so that means when we do an NPC animator, it should do body or head track. Yeah. Get parent, get eye transform. Let's do get default eye transform. So now NPCs need to have a lot more stuff. Oh. Get eye default transform. And this is the same method across both of these guys. And that means that hopefully there's no feedback loop in his head tracking. And he should just turn to us. And eventually I may need to even put it on the shoulders if I have the neck in the head tracking as well. Who does not have the eyes default? NPC base male. Why not? So that's correct there. Is it here that this is incorrect? No. Invalid get. Global transform. So there should be, it should tell us actually. Node not found, skeleton neck attached, eyes default position relative to, shader preload blah. Oh yeah, mum is also here. So she should have that. I think actually, can I just make her not... Hang on, where is this occurring at? So that's correct there. But it's not correct here, even though... whatever. Just do the thing. Oh, I see. Because mum does not inherit from the base NPC. Okay. But that doesn't really fix... Does that fix... That wasn't even where the bug was, yeah. Let's assert eyes and assert eyes default. And that'll make our lives a little faster. Okay. So for whom and why? So we are in NPC base male. Oh, I see. TS scientist. Why is his default wrong, though? Like, this is not... How did it save the wrong thing without editing the file? Also, I can feel the hard drive revving up. But alright. So now we have everything that we need. Okay. I think the only thing that we need is to swap the direction of the turn. And then that'll work well. So let's go to animator. Pause this. Turn. How did we get to here? Close other tabs. No, this isn't even what I want. That's probably how we got here. I just clicked the wrong thing. Okay. So turn is going to be... negative I basis, etc., etc. Okay, that's a look. He's looking at us. Now the next step will be to figure out why the animations are wrong, but I think the way that I can fix that is by just having it do an update and then play. Oh wait, no. But that's not going to fix it here because we're still doing... Yeah, he still goes to the standing state every time, which is very strange to me. And I don't know how to debug that, because it seems to be, Is loop... Oh, is the loop not changing? The loop isn't changing? Okay. Current loop is loop size modulo current loop plus 1. Oh... Wrong answer. I was doing 2 modulo 1. I needed to do 1 modulo 2. I can hear the computer dying. Such is life. Sometimes the video game just needs to take up and freeze the entire computer. Okay. And then it'll go right back to normal. It never does it 2 times in a row. Okay. I like it. It's like a nice little pose. Oh, and look at that. Now he like moves. Can I help you? Let's see. I'm also going to move... While we're here, let's move this place. Because I'm too dumb to figure out a way of previewing animations in the scene to like properly move things. So we're just going to do a entry. YouTube? Oh, it's just silence. Okay. It's fine if the music is silent. But okay, move this up a little bit. So that way we can see that it's properly connected to him. And good enough. Is the music gonna, like, play? There's just, like, 5 seconds of silence. Okay. Yeah. The main thing I'm thinking about is, like, the positioning of this box. Oh, wait, I just... Huh. Oh, that's gonna be an issue. Oh, he must be... Oh, I see. It's because his position is based on his collider, I think. So he's colliding with the box, so he can't actually sit on it because his center of mass is, like, in front of it. But okay, where did you study? Oh, right, I forgot to get the pictures. Or the animation for that. Okay, so now... Oh, it doesn't quite work when we're behind him. So let's do Oh, I know what it is. Divided by F in here. Hang on. Where is NPC animator? Head track. This needs to be the absolute value of F. And we actually should have that for other things as well, but oh well. In fact, well, no. Yes, actually. We're going to do the same thing here with vertical head tracking. Okay, so now his head will actually, like, turn, even though it doesn't make that much sense for him to, like, raise his head as he's looking behind him. But also, I think, for eyes, we could do a similar thing for the angle here. Because, yeah, now it feels weird that his eyes aren't, like, doing that. Less than 0? Where are we doing this? If relative position Z greater than 0, let's just remove Let's just remove that part then, and see how it feels. So we need to do the same thing where we have the absolute value of z here. Because, yeah, it feels not quite natural. Okay. And because the eyes don't turn too far, that looks okay. I mean, admittedly, it's funny that they're both just, like, side-eyeing each other instead of Jackie, like, coming up in front of him and talking. So yeah, the next step will be probably to make Jackie turn to face people as well. So what did you try? Oh, right. I need to, So we need a few more animations, I think, for Karamov. Intro, Karamov is... So, I think... Delete these. So, more animations, getting an item. Concerned that... over your head. PS intro. Yeah, now they actually got a bit of personality to them. Oh, though now the question is, how do I deal with the collisions still? Oh, Jackie's eyes also are having some issues here. What is happening exactly? Why were they working before, but now they're not working? Or why were her eyes, like, blank for a bit? Is it because we were in front of him, but behind the actual position? No, I can't trigger it now. Why were her eyes gone? Maybe it's just a trick of the light? Oh, if I'm... No. Okay, I have no idea. I'm just gonna chalk that up as a bug. Jackie's irises seem to disappear occasionally. Let's consult the footage. April 4. About 3:33 into the stream. 00. Because yeah, I'll just keep... Because it would presumably be because we are now, like, going behind people. Aha! Directly parallel, presumably. And then her eyes just take a while to recover, so... I don't get it, actually. And it takes a while for them to, like, recover. I don't know... I don't know exactly what the deal is with this. Well, suspicious. I think what I want is if... Let's do like if... What do I want? Hang on, copy this and then like undo it. Okay, I see. So it's this stuff that I changed. So I'm gonna put this back to as it was. And then what I'm gonna do is if this is like -1 or something. Oh, wait. Okay. So like if origin.z is less than -1. And should I normalize the relative position? I think I should. Dot this dot normalized. And then if this is less than like -0.3 or something, or greater than -0.3. Oh, well, do we use the basis anywhere? No, we don't. So we can just do dot origin. Dot normalized. And then this can be like 0.1 or like 2 or something. So that way, like, even if we're a little behind them. But okay. This video game is not operating. Did we? There we go. So now it should hopefully not do that. Because now when we get too far behind, we just ignore them. Oh. It must be when something is 0. Ah, I know. When relative position is 0. So this should be like plus 0.1. Or let's do min. No, what do I want to do? The max. 0.01. There we go. And that actually fixes the issue in a much more graceful way. Because, yeah, it was basically because I was dividing by 0. And then her eyes would, like, disappear for a while. Which I'm not quite sure why, but... So I think I still want the rest of this now, actually. Well... yeah, might as well. You know, if a character is directly behind you... I'm not gonna get arrested for helping you, am I? Yeah. That's fine. Okay, well, I'm pretty happy with this. So now we have a guy who, like, actually looks at us and talks to us and acknowledges us and etc. Save and quit. I think that'll be good for today. Some more animations to do. I mean, I guess I don't need them that much. I would like the one for taking out the item, though. And I also need to script these now. So I've started that here. Okay, and that goes there. Started working on Karimov. Lots of things here. And eventually I'll need some more powerful orchestration things to orchestrate like multiple NPCs that are participating in a conversation, since right now there's no way to have multiple of them. And then it's push just remotely. But okay, I think that'll be it for today. I will be back on Sunday with more stuff. It'll be cool, because I'll presumably do maybe bug fixes off in Neverland. But alright, see you then.